And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from around the world, including Madagascar, wherever you are, we are back for another episode of the Real Lil Show. It's going down, just so you know. Say it ain't so. It's going down, man. It's going down. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you support new media. Make sure you share the video. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you send it up the algorithms because we ain't come here to play no games, man. We came here to talk sports, do what we do. Y'all know how we do. We do it every single week. And Lil Shadamas is on the mic to have some fun because, per usual, I do have fun. And when you talk about on Sundays, you know what Sunday means to me. Sports, gym, sports talk. Don't bother me. Don't bother me on a Sunday, okay? Please do not call my phone. Do not text my phone unless it's important, okay? Otherwise, I'm either doing this podcast. I'm doing what I got to do, all right? I'm doing what I love to do. And that's what we're going to do. And, man, let's talk about the rundown for today's show that we have because, I told Lee in the background before we got in here that, you know what, we set the tone with the topics. When the topics are great, I know we're going to have a great show. And every single week, we have a great show, especially the last show that we did. Everybody's still buzzing off of that topic and topics that we did on that last show, Lee. So we want to give them something else to buzz about as well. All right, and we're going to do so. We're going to talk about athletes, talking about millions or not enough. Okay, we're going to break that down. Are athletes out of touch with reality, or do they have a fair point? We're going to break that down. Deshaun Watson had a meltdown post-game yesterday after the preseason game. We're going to break down if that meltdown cost him his job. We're going to break that down. And also, college football. All right. College football. Yes, college football. Okay. And I'm saying it that way because it's college football. Things are happening in college football that are unprecedented. All right. Listen, college football is all over the place. And we just had another move that signifies that. We're going to break that down. So, Lee, Stack Show. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm loaded for beer. I'm going to pass the mic over there. Lee, how you doing?
I'm good, brother. I'm doing well. This is going to be a great show. NFL season starting to just be right around the corner, trying to settle all these quarterback battles. I think we're going to talk about today the most important one I think that's out there. This topic about athletes, professional athletes, players that have signed contracts or in camps going back to college. That's a fiery subject. And then this one about pro athletes in general with millions saying it's not enough money. Hey, man, we're going to go at it. So, guys, we need y'all to chime in, help us with this topic because, as you know, Lil and I are probably going to have different opinions about it. Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
And we might as well, and let's get to the topic number one, shall we? I'm going to immediately play a clip because I want to give context before we even talk about this topic because – Lee, I don't know how you took this press conference. I took it as a meltdown, okay? As somebody that's crying for help, as somebody that is broken. That's how I took it. But, Lee, we'll figure out how you took it. We're going to run the clip right now with Deshaun Watson after yesterday's preseason game.
Man, I didn't have no reaction. I think the biggest thing is I think you guys know too, and I think the whole world knows. It has nothing to do about the performance. It's a little bit personal than that. So I think it's a disrespectful thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep whatever I feel with me and my family internally on how I feel about that. And yeah, just move on.
But don't you think, Deshaun, that winning and playing better would eliminate some of that booing?
Last time I played on this field, I tore my Achilles. And that same fan base, they cheered when I got hurt. So does that have to do with, what does that have to do with anything about performance? When a person get hurt, especially for your own city, and they cheer.
Does any of that make you regret coming here?
No, I don't regret anything in my life. I think the Lord put me through situations for a reason. So I don't regret anything at all, but I had different thoughts on how it was going to be, but it is what it is. Sometimes, the tables turn, and I'm patient enough because I'm a child of God to, wait for that time to change. So I'm not tripping on it.
All right, Lee, this is a two-part question here. Obviously, the meltdown of Deshaun Watson there. I want to get your thoughts if that will impact the Browns quarterback decision, if that decision is not even made already. And also, Todd Monken came out a couple hours ago and said that he expects to name a QB1 tomorrow. So I want to know also, who do you expect to be the QB1 named tomorrow? But first things first, I want to know your thoughts on Deshaun Watson's comments.
Yeah, Leo, for me, first and foremost, shame on the Cleveland fans, right? New season starting. You're trying to get behind your team. You have a young, talented team that's getting ready to try to improve on a subpar season last year. And it's the first time you see your team at home. And you come out and you boo Deshaun Watson profoundly. Why? I mean, what has Deshaun Watson done to Cleveland but be a warrior? Played, got injured, shoulder, Achilles twice. Are people that hateful, that doubtful because the man signed a $230 million contract that they want to boo and ridicule him? Now, his play wasn't good, but you have to take into context what's going on. He's playing with the second and third string team line and team members the same way Shedeur Sanders played with them last week when everybody was talking about Shedeur sort of played subpar. It's football in general, Leo. It's how things go. And so if the fans can't grasp that, shame on them. Do I think the press conference is going to hurt him in Monken's decision making? No, I don't think that is going to hurt because Monken understands he has one job. His job is to pick the quarterback that he feels is the best because he has to win football games. So I don't think it affects Todd Monken's decision making based off of that press conference yesterday. But it just, to me, it just shows a classless fan base who don't even have the projection of winning to boo the man as profoundly as they did. They planned on doing that, Leo, prior, no matter how he played there, because they want Shedeur and they have animosity against him. Even the ones that don't want Shedeur has animosity against him. So I don't think the press conference in itself is going to hurt him one way or the other. But I do think Todd Monken is going to play the quarterback that he feels best about. I've always said, Lil, that Shedeur should be the starter. And I'll just repeat what I've said over and over and over again. You're a young team. You're a team that you have a lot of young talent around. It would be great for that young talent with Shedeur at quarterback to grow with them together, right? And develop rapport and grow. He has more upside as far as his ability to throw the ball down the field. And I just think Deshaun Watson is not in your long-term plans. So why in the world would you start him now if you know this time next year he probably won't be on the roster? So I wouldn't start Deshaun Watson. That's Lee Jones. He would not be my starting quarterback. I would be thinking about, would I even cut him, Leo, because you don't want him backing up Shedeur. I would have been getting Taylor Green ready to be the backup or go out and trade for a veteran backup. Now, final point in this lap for me, who do I think Todd Monken will start or announce tomorrow? I think he's going to announce Deshaun Watson because it's easier for him to go from Deshaun to Shedeur in his mind than to do it vice versa if Shedeur struggles. I don't think Shedeur is going to struggle. If you watched the game yesterday, Leo, very poised in the pocket, very accurate throwing the ball down the field, showed athleticism. You're always going to have some ups and downs with a new starter. But so I don't think he's going to start. But I do think Monken is going to start Watson, and then he's going to transition back to Shedeur. So I think Watson will be the starter, and he'll be announced tomorrow.
Yeah. Lee, I don't know if you peeped the drip here that I got on. but it says people and it says 1 star. I strategically wore this shirt today on this show. All right. It's not by chance. It's not by accident. It wasn't the first thing that I saw when I got out of bed. All right. This was thought here because Deshaun Watson, you get 1 star, if at all. Okay. Really. All right. Because to me, what I saw yesterday should cost him his job. And I don't know how Todd Monken can come on tomorrow with a straight face and look the media in the face and say that Deshaun Watson is our guy. No. Okay. I would not be able to do so with a straight face. All right. Now, with that being said, when you look at this whole entire situation and what Deshaun was talking about, look, let me be clear here. I do not condone fans booing when somebody tears their Achilles. I think that's a definition of classless. And we are in a classless, going to be cashless society. Okay. Now, with that being said, when you talk about Deshaun, we cannot act like it is personal. It's not. It's not personal. It's football, buddy. You're not playing good. Because at the end of the day, Lee, as far as I'm concerned, Tiger Woods, when he had a situation, people forgot about it. Right? And sure, you could argue that, yeah, he probably did suck for a little bit right after the situation. But guess what? He still won the Masters maybe a decade later after the situation. So we forgave him. Not me, but they did. Right? I'm talking about people here. Now, Michael Vick. Salute to the dogs out here, right? The dogs that he tortured. All right? People forgave Michael Vick. Why? Because, yeah, he wasn't Michael Vick when he came back, but he still was a decent player when he came back. You get it? Okay? When Kobe Bryant was his godly soul, okay, when he had this situation in Colorado, all right, people forgot about it. Why? Because he was Kobe Bryant. He won championships. He came back and he got buckets. So at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson is not personal. You think people give a damn about what you did at a massage parlor? People don't give a damn. People let Jeffrey Epstein's minions and all of that left them alone, okay? And they was out here torturing and eating children. So if you think that that would have get people riled up to do something, people don't give a damn about what you did with some woman at a massage parlor. People care about winning football games. People care about what you do on the court. And the reality is, you got $230 million fully guaranteed. All right. Then you got the nerve to get on that press conference with your shiny earrings. All right. Lighting up the whole daggone room. And you want people to throw a pity party for you. I'm not doing it. Okay. You, just like these other athletes, and we're going to talk about it. All right. Y'all want a pity party for what reason? What reason? Okay. You stole $230 million. There will be no pity party from Lil on this show, with all due respect. And salute to Todd Monken. Salute to Todd Monken. He had an impeccable response to those boos. He said, you know what? If you want people to stop booing you, play better football. You see, I'm watching Todd Monken. Todd Monken, I got my eyes on you, brother, because I see that you coming from that old school cloth, and I like that. It reminds me of a guy that coached in the league that retired, known as Bruce Arians. He used to come out and call Tom Brady out, the GOAT, when he used to make mistakes. Out there with it. Like, yo, you played horrible. That was horrible throw, whatever. And I see Todd Monken, I see Bruce Arians and Todd Monken, because he's not going to hold no punches for lunches. He's going to throw it out there in bunches. And that's exactly what he's doing. So at the end of the day, Lee, I hate to break it to you. Deshaun Watson, there's no people out to get him. They want to see him play better football. And I guarantee if Deshaun Watson is named the starter tomorrow and he goes out there and he balls and the Browns go 5-0, especially knowing what we know about their quarterback history, if he gives them some competency, okay, they will be riding this dude on a donkey. All right. But guess what? You got to play better. And yesterday and what we saw as a microcosm of his Browns career has been otherwise.
Yeah, you made a couple of good points in there, Lil, but I'm going to push back a little bit. Football is a different animal. It's not Kobe Bryant in basketball. It's not Tiger Woods in golf. It's a totally different animal. So the mindset of the NFL fan is totally different from the NBA fan, from the golf fan. So they do make it personal. They do make it more about the individual in the person. That man signed for $230 million, and he played. He's had several injuries, and so injuries are one thing we can't account for. But he's been injured. Didn't mean he didn't go out and give his effort. So you should get behind your quarterback. You should get behind him at the first time you see him play, and you shouldn't be booing him as soon as he runs out on the field. Now, the other thing is, Lil, you quoted Todd Monken's quote. Well, you know what? Let's be real about the situation in Cleveland. They're 2 and 3 deep. Teams are terrible. They were terrible last week. They were terrible this week. So you put Deshaun. He came in and struggled. And, Shador struggled to a certain extent. He played better getting the ball down the field, even with the subpar backups. But they're 2 and 3 deep. Stinks. So him and Andrew Berry had some culpability in this as well. So my deal is, look, if somebody plays bad, you right, Leo. They have a right. They have a right to boo. Nothing wrong with booing. But this man takes it personal because he was laying on the field. And as he got carted off the field with a torn Achilles, these same fickle Cleveland Brown fans were booing him as he rolled off. And his last memory of coming in to Cleveland Stadium, whatever they calling it now, was the fans booing him, and as soon as he runs on the field, they're booing him again. So screw the fans, because that's classless, in my opinion. Now, Todd Monken, I still say, Lil, he's going to name Deshaun Watson the starting quarterback. I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. But I still say he's going to name Deshaun Watson the starting quarterback. And we'll see how that goes. I think Cleveland has great skill players on the outside, young talent. They have 2 very good running backs. If their offensive line hold up, whoever plays quarterback is going to have a legitimate chance. The question I have with Deshaun is, as the starting quarterback, Lil, his accuracy down the field and his willingness to go down the field. You saw yesterday that Shador is willing to hold that ball and wait till those receivers clear and get that ball down the field. He has excellent pocket presence. I like that pass where he stepped to the side briefly and threw that dart. So he's willing to do it. That's Deshaun's thing right now in his career. Is he willing to do that? And has he lost his pocket presence? But I think Monken is going to name Watson, and then that's how it is. Ray Blackwell, no one cares about an injury. You have underachieved, and you haven't been good enough while in Cleveland cutting out. Do you want to have a veteran quarterback? Even if Shador takes over to come in the game, you do want a veteran. Do you want the spectacle of Deshaun Watson behind Shador? I don't know. But let me say this. It's not on Deshaun Watson, Leo. I don't want people taking shots at this young man. He served his time with the suspension. He came in and gave everything he had.
Yeah, so there's one problem.
I think he was in a bad offense, Leo. I think he was in a bad offense. So don't be booing the man the first time he comes on the field. That's foul.
There's one problem that's going over your head right now, Lee, but I don't want to lose track here.
Bring it to me, Leo. Bring it to me. Bring it to me.
I don't want to lose track here trying to clean up your mess. So I'm going to get right back to that point that's going over your head.
Bring it to me.
All right. What I do want to say, though, before I lose my train of thought, is that Deshaun Watson, you see, there's one thing that Shador Sanders has that Deshaun Watson doesn't have, and it's one key thing, and that's confidence. And you see it in the way how he plays. You see it in his moxie, the way how he talks. Shador Sanders believes he's the best quarterback that ever played the game.
I agree with that.
All right. Now, he could throw an interception.
I agree with that.
He could throw an interception and still fit that way.
I agree with that.
See, the thing about Deshaun Watson, he's not playing with that confidence. And when you look at the press conference and you look at him out there in the football field, how he is in that pocket, you don't see that confidence. And that's one thing I feel like it's an important attribute to have is confidence. Because if you have a broken play out there with his whole fan base, not fan base, but the fan base of the team against him, to me, that's a recipe for disaster. I believe that it's a recipe for disaster to have this team go out there hearing these boos when that's supposed to be their home games. Like, forget about Deshaun Watson. What about the rest of the team? The team full of young players, because they do have a lot of young players. Do you really want them in that environment? I really do believe that the Browns fans believe that they're going to make this quarterback decision. Not Todd Monken, not the front office. They're going to boo Deshaun Watson out of town to the point where Deshaun Watson, we're going to force, front office and Todd Monken to play Shador. That's what I believe the Browns think they're going to do.
That's ignorant on the fans' part. That's not going to happen. That's not.
Now, what I would say, it may not. I don't think it's going to happen. I do believe tomorrow, to answer the two-part question of this, I do believe Deshaun Watson will start. But again, I'm looking at this press conference like, how could you start him? Now, Lee, let me get to the point that's going over your head.
Bring it to me.
Right here, you're trying to throw a pity party for Deshaun Watson. Okay, right now we're not doing that because Deshaun Watson has never owned up to his situation. Never
what
did.
Situation he needs to own up to?
The masseuse. Okay?
You just said it doesn't matter. That was a long time ago. Okay? What are you talking about?
He never owned up to the situation, took accountability for it. All right. And I think a lot of people want that. A lot of people want him to take accountability and play good football. And he hasn't. He hide behind this religion. You hear him in the daggone press conference, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Where is your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ when you was at the massage parlor? Okay? We got to stop this hiding behind Christianity to hide our accountability. We got to stop that. Okay.
Everybody, look now. He still can be a Christian, and we all have demons. So I'm not going to go there.
We have demons, but guess what? At the end of the day, we cannot hide behind our demons and use Christianity as a front. All right, own up to the situation and what happened. He never did. He should have did it a long time ago. I don't expect him to do it now. Clearly, it's been how many years since it happened? But back then, he should have owned up to the situation instead of saying it never happened or was it this and
he
that.
Said it was consensual. If you settled with him, isn't that owning up to him? You settled with the people.
No. You come out.
You want the man's head on the stake and chop it off.
You own up to the situation. All right, that's how you move on and you play better football. That's it. So, Lee, my last point here that I want to make, and I'll let you bring us home, is that I believe Deshaun Watson will get the job because I don't believe that Todd Monken is going to be his decision to make. I think that Todd Monken has the illusion that he's going to make the decision. I believe that he wants Shador Sanders. I believe that mainly because of the way how the game was called in the preseason. You look last week, the first 5 plays that Deshaun Watson ran were run plays. There was a 3 and out, 3 runs, 3 and out. The next 2 plays, run, finally a pass. Shador came in the game immediately. They was pushing the ball down the field. That's how he was calling the game. So to me, I believe that Todd Monken wants to play Shador. I believe that although there's not a lot of separation between the two guys, both have their, icks. Deshaun Watson won last week. This week I thought Shador Sanders won. But again, the context there, you're playing against second strings and all that. We got to see what happened in practice. But I don't believe that there's a clear separation. But I do believe that Todd Monken believes that Shador is the guy for the job. But I believe that the front office is going to make that decision because there's a lot more invested into Deshaun Watson. I believe the contract has a lot to play with it. We didn't talk about that yet here on this subject, but I believe that it should be talked about like it was last week with me. He is due $46 million. To me, it's hard for me to see him on the bench. He's either going to get cut or he's going to play. I cannot see it in between. Lee, I don't know if you agree with me.
Well, $46 million, he's going to bank that regardless of whether he's on the bench or cut. It doesn't matter. So the money shouldn't matter at all. The money, and I don't think the money matters.
I mean, it does because if you cut him, Lee, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have dead cap, $36 million in dead cap in 2007 and $51 million in dead cap in 2028.
It doesn't matter. This is his last year on his contract. That money is accounted for in their salary cap this year, irregardless whether he's on the team or not. So, look. And you made a point about Deshaun's confidence in Shador. They're different type of quarterbacks, Leo. Shador is a traditional stand-up, pocket passer, gunslinger. Deshaun is more of the mobile dual threat, move around with his feet, make things happen. I don't see a lack of confidence with Deshaun Watson. I just see a different mindset when you're behind center. Doesn't make any one of them right or wrong. Both of them can excel. And I do agree with you on one point. The way Monken calls the game when Shador's behind center is different. I said this last week. It's different. It's totally different than the way he calls it for Deshaun because of Shador's ability to hang in the pocket and throw the ball accurately down the field. Deshaun's going to be able to move the pocket, run, throw the ball on the move more. So they're different type of quarterbacks. But I agree with you. He's going to start Watson. I personally would start Shador because I have a lot of confidence in Shador Sanders. But this notion, Leo, he needs to fess up. He didn't get all that mess. Now, everybody wants people to fess up, and no, hell no.
He should have did that a long time ago.
The Cleveland fans do not like Watson. He's a quarterback that got a guaranteed $230 million. NFL fans are very, very fickle. They're very fickle. When people get money, especially black quarterbacks, people have fits. And they've held Deshaun to this. Let me say this. He hasn't delivered. Let me say this.
We just going to pull the race card here,
He hasn't delivered, but that doesn't mean.
We just going to pull the race card here, Lee. The guy is trash, bro. The guy is trash.
How's he trash?
His career in Cleveland has been a bust.
He's been injured the whole time.
All right? His career has been a bust, so we're going to blame it on it. I mean, that's part of the game. You got to be healthy.
I know. He's been injured. Look, I get that. And look, the investment of Deshaun Watson has not paid off up until this point. You won't hear me say anything differently. All I'm saying is the man is healthy finally, and if he's your starting quarterback, support him as your starting quarterback, and certainly don't boo the man as soon as he comes on the field before he throws the pass. That's ridiculous from a fan base that hadn't won a damn thing in a number of years. Give me a break.
And they ain't going to win another thing in another number of years. And I agree with Ray Blackwell here. He is playing like dead cap. But unfortunately, hey, sometimes you just got to get your money's worth for whatever that is, for better, for worse. And I think the Browns are going to make sure they get some type of money's worth. Maybe just him being available because he wasn't available the last couple of years is some type of money that's being worth something. But at the end of the day, to me, football has always been about wins and losses. And right now, the Browns ain't winning.
Last thing I'll say, Leo, remember this for all you people out there. Cleveland starts on the road in Jacksonville. In Jacksonville, they start out on the road.
Yeah, Lee, you can just count every home game as a road game too at this point.
And and as I think, put my thinking cap on like Todd Monken, it's better to start Deshaun, an experienced quarterback who has played in big games on the road. That's why I think he's going to start Watson. That first game is going to be huge because it is a very short leash. There's no doubt about that. So we'll see what happens when Cleveland goes to Jacksonville.
Sports, politics, conspiracy theories. We are here to give you our unique perspectives on things happening in the world. It's the one and only The Real Lil on The Real Lil Show.